Alex, a young master from a wealthy family in Beijing, had a girl who was pampered and raised with care. This little girl was always prone to tears and disappearing acts. Because of her, Alex missed our wedding and even missed the birth of our daughter. Later, I took our daughter and left the country at the same time as his little girl, heading in opposite directions. He chose to go and bring back his sulking little girl. 2 months later, he finally remembered to call me. "You've been on vacation for quite a while now. Isn't it time to come back?" But he was met with a soft, but firm warning from our daughter. "I've already found a new daddy. Don't come and ruin it." Chapter 1. Married to Alex for 5 years. I'm still the laughingstock of the circle. Our one and only wedding. And the groom disappeared. In the life and death struggle of the delivery room, the father was absent. And all of this was because of a girl who loves to cry. Luna. She's the orphan Alex adopted. And they call themselves uncle and niece. But given how much Alex dotes on Luna, and how dependent she is on him, it always feels like they're more than just uncle and niece. On the day Alex and I got married, Luna, in her consideration, disappeared, leaving only a note behind. "Uncle, I've thought about it a lot and don't know how to face the married version of you. So I've decided to leave. Please don't come looking for me." Ha. As if Alex wouldn't go after her. Even when she was at school, he had to know her whereabouts at all times. And now that she was missing? Of course, Alex didn't trust anyone else to find her. He had to go himself. What was supposed to be a grand wedding, endlessly covered by the media, ended up with just me standing there alone. Chapter 2. But I couldn't leave. At that time, my family's company was in trouble, and Alex's family stepped in to help. This marriage was not only heartfelt, but also bound by mutual interests. I had no choice but to stay and endure until the end. Forcing a smile as I bid farewell to the guests, I politely and tactfully explained to them that Alex was just worried about a younger relative. But everyone knew better. What kind of relative was Luna to Alex? She was just a little girl Alex adopted from an orphanage when he was 20. They have no blood relation. That little girl is now 18, very independent, and she's ruined several of Alex's past relationships. Time and time again, it became clear she was more important than any of Alex's girlfriends. Everyone in the circle knows this, but no one dares to speak out, fearing they might offend Alex. But as Alex's neglected wife, I became the subject of gossip and ridicule at their dinner tables. Victoria can't even handle a little girl, yet she still calls herself the most beautiful woman in the Beijing elite. Once that little girl grows up a bit more, Victoria's reign will end. I've endured these kinds of rumors for 5 years. Our daughter is now 5 years old, and Alex has never mentioned divorce. But what hasn't changed is that Luna is always his #1 priority. I will never forget the day I gave birth to our daughter. I was in so much pain, screaming and crying out his name, but he never showed up. He didn't see me in my pain and desperation, and he didn't see our daughter's first moments in this world. That day, he was at Luna's graduation ceremony. He gave her flowers in front of everyone and was even invited to give a speech. Everyone envied Luna. They all said she was the one dearest to the heart of Alex. Chapter 3. I forgave Alex many times, but the one thing I could never forgive was how he ignored our daughter for Luna. Our daughter, Sophia, is already 5 years old and in kindergarten, but her father has never once picked her up or dropped her off. I mentioned it to Alex, and he thought it was unnecessary. The whole world knows he's a busy man, managing a huge business empire, with endless responsibilities. Besides, we have a driver and a nanny at home, so why would he waste time on something like that? Exactly. Picking up and dropping off our daughter, building a father-daughter bond, that's just a waste of time for Alex. But I know that when Luna was in school, Alex picked her up and dropped her off every day. Back then, how did he have so much time to waste? That night, I snapped at him for the first time. "Alex, if you like that little girl so much, why don't you divorce me and marry her? What kind of dirty relationship are you two in?" Slap. He was furious, and for the first time, he raised his hand and slapped me. "What nonsense are you spouting?" It was the first time he ever hit me, when I gave birth to our daughter 5 years ago. Even when he arrived late and I screamed the worst things at him, He only held my hand and apologized. But when it comes to Luna, what's wrong? Do you find it disgusting too? I disgusted him once more, and slapped him right back. In the end, he left with his face covered, slamming the door in anger and didn't return all night. Chapter 4. News of Alex hitting me reached my parents. They're retired and living in Los Angeles. Over the years, much of our family business has gradually shifted abroad. At the beginning, marrying Alex was for a business alliance, but now, it's no longer necessary. How much longer are you going to drag this out? While Sophia is still young, you should divorce him. Looking at the red mark in the mirror, my resolve crumbled. Don't worry, I've already contacted a lawyer. The past 5 years might as well have been wasted on a dog. As I was discussing the terms with the lawyer and drafting the agreement, Alex called. What time does Sophia finish school? I'll go pick her up. I laughed. Sophia got out of school an hour ago. She's already had dinner. Hearing this, Alex went silent. After a long pause, just as I was losing patience, he finally said, Victoria, about yesterday. I'm sorry. I felt nothing. Okay. I understand. The damage had already been done. What good is an apology now? Chapter 5. Alex didn't give up. The next day, he picked up Sophia on time. Father and daughter came home, laughing and chatting. Sophia excitedly told me, Daddy said we're going on a family trip during summer vacation. Mommy, I want to see the big desert. I want Daddy to hold me while we ride a camel. Please, can we? There were only 2 days left before summer vacation, and the trip wouldn't interfere with the divorce. Of course, I wasn't going to disappoint Sophia, so I said, sure. Sophia was thrilled. Alex also seemed relieved. He probably just didn't want to feel guilty. But unfortunately, our family trip never happened. Alex broke his promise. I heard Luna had disappeared again, this time to Switzerland, and, of course, he had to go chase after his little girl. That morning, Sophia sat on the front steps with her little suitcase, crying her heart out. No one could comfort her. At the same time, my mother's chronic illness worsened. Worried about her, I bought tickets and decisively took Sophia to Los Angeles. Before leaving, I left Alex the divorce papers, but we met again at the airport. I walked up to Alex and told him, Sophia and I are going to Los Angeles, and we won't be back for at least a year. Don't joke around. Alex gave me a cold look, his tone impatient. The boarding announcements came over the speakers. Both of our flights were about to take off. At that moment, Alex's assistant came running up, telling him, Miss Luna is on that plane. You can still make it. Hearing that, his expression softened slightly. He turned back to me and said, Take care of Sophia. Come back soon. With that, Alex turned and left. He was so sure I wouldn't leave him. But, Alex, I really won't be coming back. Chapter 6. As the plane approached Los Angeles, we arrived just before sunrise. The sun was about to break through the clouds. Everything from yesterday was behind me. A new beginning awaited. It was a good omen. After landing, my brother, Luis, came to pick me up. Over the years, he's been taking care of our parents and managing the family business here. I asked my parents to keep it from him, so he didn't know that Alex had slapped me. If he knew, he'd probably tear Alex apart. But even so, knowing I was getting a divorce, my brother was still thrilled. It's about time. That guy was never a good match for you. We should never have agreed to a business marriage. He said that. But a business worth billions isn't something to joke about. Besides, I liked Alex. He was willing to marry me, and I was willing to marry him. But now, I regret it. Brother, do me a favor. What? Find me a few men, strong ones. Chapter 7. My brother was stunned. Sophia is asleep, right? Of course. How could I say something like that if she wasn't? Alex may be awful, but he's still Sophia's father. Getting someone to beat him up isn't something Sophia should know about. And you better not mention it. My brother, sorry. I think I misunderstood. Me, when we got home, I sighed in relief. Mom was in good health. She only lied about her condition worsening because she missed me and wanted me to come sooner. My parents were heartbroken about my failed marriage and spent a long time cursing Alex. They only stopped when Sophia woke up. The two of them doted on their precious granddaughter. And then they got to the point. You're not going back, are you? Take some time to rest and help your brother out at the company? Yes. There are plenty of young talents at the company. Yeah. It's like a matchmaking opportunity. My parents said it with such enthusiasm. I didn't argue. I knew they had seen enough of my heartache and wanted me to experience some sweetness. At that moment, Sophia blinked her big dark eyes, staring at her grandparents in confusion. Matchmaking? Are you trying to find me a new daddy? No, Sophia. That's not it. I thought Sophia would be upset. So I quickly tried to explain, but to my surprise, the next second, she started clapping. Yay! Sophia wants a new daddy. I couldn't help but laugh. Does she even know what a new daddy means? A new daddy is just mom's new husband. My desk mate already has a new daddy, and she says he's great. I asked her why, and she said because her new daddy is richer than her old one. He buys her lots of toys. Mommy, is being rich that important? This was the first time Sophia asked me such a deep question. I hadn't figured out how to answer yet when she propped her chin on her hand and answered herself. I don't think being rich is that great, because my daddy is really rich. My heart ached. Kids understand everything, don't they? Then Sophia suddenly thought of something, looked up at me, and shook my arm. Mommy, why don't you find a new daddy for Sophia too? One who smiles at mommy, celebrates mom's birthday, and helps Sophia plan surprises for her. In any case, someone who's not like daddy. She pouted as she said this. Daddy doesn't do anything. He makes mommy unhappy. Her little head was completely focused on me. At that moment, I couldn't hold back. I cried. My darling, having you is enough for mommy. Chapter 8. After resting for a few days, I officially started looking for a job. I didn't choose to work at my family's company. After all, it wasn't my field. I studied broadcasting, and my dream was to work at a TV station. Fortunately, it's never too late to start pursuing your dreams. And Sophia even said she wanted to see me on TV because it would be so cool. Her next sentence was, that way, more amazing uncles can see you. Me, all thanks to her little mouth. As soon as I started working at the TV station, two potential suitors appeared. One was my blonde, blue-eyed colleague, a local rich second generation. He said it was love at first sight. The other was a former Chinese-American classmate. After hearing about my divorce, he wanted to take me out to dinner and confess his long-hidden feelings. I was a bit confused, but my brother said, look in the mirror. Men love women like you. He's changed. He used to say I was ugly. Oh, by the way, does Alex know about this? You might as well make him a cuckold. Me, later. Alex really did find out. Chapter 9. I had been in Los Angeles for 2 months. Sophia's summer vacation was over. I hired a tutor for her, aligned with the local curriculum, and prepared for her to start school. Before doing so, I thought it would be polite to inform Alex, but he didn't answer my calls. Well, that's what happens when my brother sends people to beat him up. The divorce lawyer told me. I went to meet with Alex, but when he heard I was working for you, he refused to see me. He didn't even ask for a reason. The divorce papers are still with me. Me? What's Alex playing at? Since he didn't retaliate, why is he sulking? I contacted his assistant directly, but he chose to play deaf. You don't need to tell me. Alex doesn't want to hear anything related to you right now. Me? Was he beaten that badly? No. He was fine at first, but then he found out that the people who beat him weren't sent by Mr. Luis, but by you. Is there a difference? My brother sent them. I can't? Because it was you. Alex seems deeply hurt. I've never seen him like this before. The chairman scolded him, saying he was acting like an immature little boy. The chairman is Alex's mother. I didn't listen to the rest and hung up. Chapter 10. I've seen Alex act immature countless times, but I didn't understand what he was so upset about. Until that night, I had fallen asleep when Alex suddenly called me. He was drunk. his deep voice slurring as he spoke. Victoria, how could you bear to have someone beat me up? Victoria, at home, he always called me by my full name. There were no affectionate nicknames between us. It suited the nature of our business marriage. Victoria, where did you put my matching tie? Victoria, the baby's crying. Come calm her down. Victoria, this coffee tastes terrible. It wasn't you who made it, was it? You're brushing me off again. When I told my girlfriends, they didn't believe me. Even Alex, one of the wealthiest men in Beijing, couldn't escape being a typical man. He was just like any other annoying guy. Hopeless at daily life. Hopeless at parenting. Hopeless at everything. But this hopeless, annoying man somehow managed to be Luna's perfect uncle, while giving me the worst version of himself. So, I made it very clear to Alex. Why wouldn't I have you beaten? Are you my son? Do you call me mom? Next time we meet, don't call me by my name. Call me MS Victoria, because that creates the distance we need. It suits us better. I hung up the phone, feeling much better. But the next day, someone came to bother me again. It was Luna. Chapter 11. Luna came to confront me. Did you have someone beat up Uncle? How dare you? What did Uncle ever do to deserve that? He's never even thought about divorcing you. By the time she said that last sentence, Luna's voice was trembling with tears. My expression grew colder. So, staying married makes everything okay? You're too young to put so much weight on marriage. Somehow, that comment struck a nerve with Luna. She suddenly raised her voice. I'm not that young. Uncle just celebrated my birthday with me today. And I'm 23. Oh right. Today's also your birthday, isn't it? You're turning 29 now. Huh? Maybe it's not that I'm young, but that you're old? What kind of twisted fate is this? Luna and I share the same birthday, for 5 years of marriage. Alex has never remembered my birthday. He only remembers it after Luna's celebration, and then gives me a last-minute gift. That's why I've never opened any of his birthday presents. They're all piled up in my closet, unopened. I don't need those afterthoughts. Just thinking about it makes it seem pointless. I didn't want to waste any more time talking to Luna, so I simply said, 29 isn't young. That's true, so make sure you never live to this age, okay? After I sent that, I smiled. Luna's such a fragile person, she's bound to cry, right? I made Alex's little girl cry. When he sobers up, will he call to blame me? I blocked Alex in advance. Chapter 12. I underestimated Alex. He managed to call the landline at my parents' house. Luckily, my parents were out for their morning exercise, and my brother was at work. I watched Sophia eat breakfast, getting ready to take her to school. Lately, she's been a bit distracted, paying a lot of attention to me. Mommy, why didn't you answer the phone when that foreign uncle called? That's rude. Mommy has her reasons. You don't like him? Then do you like the other uncle? The one who was your college classmate? I'll go get your bag. I had no choice but to escape. Just as I reached the top of the stairs, the house phone rang downstairs. I picked up the receiver in my room, and immediately heard that all too familiar voice. You've been traveling abroad for a while now. When are you coming back? It was Alex, and his tone was irritating. I knew it. He was definitely calling to hold me accountable for scolding Luna. I wanted to get ahead of him, but Alex surprised me. Today's your birthday. Don't forget to eat some cake. The words I had prepared to lash out were stuck in my throat. What is Alex's deal? We're about to get divorced, and now he's pretending to be a good husband? I was about to throw a sarcastic comment at him when suddenly, a soft voice came from the phone. Sophia had picked up the downstairs line. Daddy, are you looking for Mommy? Mommy's not home. Me? I'm clearly home. I was confused as to why Sophia was lying, and then she spoke up again, raising her voice. But Daddy, you're so awful. Mommy doesn't like cake. Every year on her birthday, she only eats longevity noodles. And you don't even know that. Even the foreign uncle knows. She was referring to the rich American guy who was pursuing me. I had no idea my daughter was so sharp, so perceptive. Alex's voice came through. scratchy with confusion. Who's this foreign uncle? Sophia huffed, her tone full of warning. One of the new daddies I'm considering. Anyway, don't come and ruin things. Chapter 13. I hurried downstairs and snatched the phone away from Sophia. She had said enough. No more. Alex heard my voice, and his near-growling tone came through the phone. Victoria, I know you're there. Don't hang up. I knew he must be absolutely furious right now. But what does that have to do with me? I hung up. Then, I gave Sophia a little talk. When did I ever ask you to find me a new daddy? I'm just helping you out on my own. Me, thank you. On the way to take Sophia to school, my phone kept buzzing. I thought it was spam, but when I checked, the sender, Alex. I was stunned. He actually sent me a message. In the past, he always called me, even when I asked him to text. He refused, saying, it's a waste of time. But for Luna, even if he was in a meeting, he'd stop to reply to her. So, I didn't read it. I deleted it. I didn't care before, and I don't care now. After dropping Sophia off at kindergarten, Alex called. I answered. Why didn't you read my message? It's a waste of time. He was momentarily speechless. Are you still mad at me? No. I'll be back tomorrow. I'm transferring all my shares to your name. Chapter 14. Why is your lawyer pestering me every day? If you're worried that I'll give my assets to Luna, don't be. Come back, and I'll give everything to you. How generous. But I know Alex too well. He grew up surrounded by money, and the one thing he cares the least about is money. Alex, you've misunderstood. My lawyer isn't after your money. I want to divorce you. As soon as the words left my mouth, Alex's breathing stopped. The air seemed to freeze. I thought he would be happy if he liked Luna. Then finally, he could be with her. If he didn't, it didn't matter. He would be free. From now on, he could spoil whoever he wanted, and I wouldn't care. I waited for him to agree, but after waiting for a long time, Alex's gloomy voice came through. Dark and low. Have you really fallen for someone else? Victoria, this is infidelity. Divorce? Don't even think about it. Then he hung up. Chapter 15. Alex met with my lawyer and tore up the divorce papers. I don't know what he did, but my lawyer resigned. No lawyer in the country would take my case. The next time I saw Alex, he had come to Los Angeles. The day I got off work at the TV station, my former classmate invited me to dinner. He had helped me resolve a work crisis recently, so I should have treated him. I booked a restaurant in advance, but what I didn't expect, as my classmate and I walked out of the TV station, laughing and chatting, Alex was standing by the street bollards, dressed in a black trench coat. With his handsome face and tall frame, he drew attention from several local girls. That face had once attracted me too, but now, I hated that face. I pretended not to see him. Senior, let's go get Chinese food. I hadn't finished speaking. Alex was already blocking our way. Victoria, I won't say it again. Come with me. Who are you to order me around? At that moment, my classmate stepped in front of me, shielding me. Victoria doesn't want to talk to you. My classmate was too naive. He thought Alex was the kind of person you could reason with. But I saw Alex's fist clench, veins bulging. I sighed, stepped forward to shield my classmate, and looked up at Alex. If you lay a finger on him, I won't hesitate to find someone to beat you up again. Alex's face turned completely black. Fine, Victoria. Well done. You're treating me like this for someone else. He stared at me, his eyes turning red. That's just how he is. In his mind, what's his will always be his, even if he doesn't like it. No one else can have it. But, Alex, the world doesn't revolve around you. Chapter 16. Alex hasn't come looking for me again. At the same time, the two suitors from the TV station also stopped asking me out for dinner. It wasn't that I couldn't handle it, but I was afraid that jerk Alex might have threatened them. So I subtly asked them why, and the answer was, Victoria, honestly, we were both asked by your brother to boost your confidence. Your brother was worried you'd get depressed over love, since we knew you wouldn't like us anyway. We pretended to pursue you to make you feel better. Oh, by the way, we're not the only ones. The third one is already on the way. 5 minutes later, I ran into the third one in the elevator. He was a famous architect, named Eric, and was a guest on one of our TV interviews. He was handsome and talented, but he didn't seem too calculating. He greeted me as soon as he saw me. "Miss Victoria, it's a pleasure to meet you. I was just an intern." How did he know me? He must be the third suitor my brother sent. "It's a pleasure to meet you too, but can we stop right here?" "What? You're a guest at our interview. I don't want any rumors spreading. It would hurt my professional image." "Huh? Keep pretending." "Sure." When the elevator reached the 8th floor, he looked back at me before stepping out. "Miss Victoria, your name tag is crooked." "Me?" I looked down and saw my name clearly written on my work badge. "Me? So, maybe he wasn't sent by my brother. Then what on earth did I just say?" I frantically pressed the elevator button, wanting to disappear, but unexpectedly, Eric suddenly turned around, his bright eyes looking at me. "Oh, and Miss Victoria, don't worry. My professional image is important too." Me? Chapter 17. I never want to see Eric again. All I want is to yell at my brother. During a break at work, I couldn't wait to pull out my phone. "Who told you to find people to chase me? Are you trying to play games with me? Do you even know how embarrassed I just was?" My brother responded casually. "You're my sister. What games can't you play?" "I don't want to play." Okay. I won't find anyone else. Don't be mad, okay?" My brother tried to calm me down for a bit, then suddenly changed the subject. "By the way, your soon-to-be ex-husband just visited me at the company. He brought a huge business deal, just asking me to put in a good word with you. Don't go through with the divorce." Begging? Alex is actually begging my brother? I gotta admit, this guy's really stepped up. He's giving up such a big piece of his business. Seems like he really cares about you and knows he was wrong. "Maybe you should." My brother was starting to waver. "Alex, always so slick, since he can't get to me. He goes after the people around me." "Brother, are you seriously thinking of helping him?" "He slapped me. You know, one hard slap." As soon as I said that, my previously reconciliatory brother exploded. "Alex hit you." "Wait there. I'm going to go and beat him to a pulp." "Oh, should I also get back together with him then?" "What about your business? What do you take me for?" "Business doesn't matter. I'm going to knock Alex's teeth out." In the end, my brother calmed down a bit. "Sis, I really shouldn't have said that. I'm sorry. From now on, whatever you choose, I'll support you. You're going to meet someone 100 times better than Alex." "Now that's more like it. Don't worry. My Prince Charming is already riding the Milky Way to come see me." After I said that dreamy line, I turned around, and there stood Eric, right in front of me. Hey, what a coincidence. I was waiting for the elevator, and I just happened to forget my headphones. Me? So you heard everything? From the game talk to Prince Charming. Me? Well, at least he's honest. Chapter 18. I got into the elevator with Eric. It was just the two of us, in the quiet space. He suddenly spoke. "I'm 30 years old and I've never been in a relationship." Me? Why is he telling me this? What does that have to do with me? What's he trying to do? Could he be a weirdo? I moved a little farther away from him. He continued. "When I was little, I looked like a girl, and some boys used to have crushes on me." Me? Because of that, I ended up beating one of them up, and now, he still asks me to beat him up again. Me? I looked at him, completely bewildered. He let out a sigh. "That's all my secrets." "I heard your secrets. So in exchange, I'm telling you mine. Now you won't feel uneasy." He said it with complete sincerity. Me? All right then. I've only known Eric for less than a day, and here we were, exchanging secrets. When the elevator reached the first floor, he was about to leave, but then he suddenly turned back around. "Do you like the Milky Way?" Huh? The Prince Charming riding the Milky Way. Stop it! So embarrassing! He suddenly smiled, like a soft spring breeze. There's a galaxy exhibition nearby, and I designed the Milky Way in it. Want to go check it out together? Eric had a natural, pure kind of friendliness, warm and cheerful. Sure. I mean, I was off work anyway. Just as I agreed and looked up, there was Alex, his face bruised and battered, staring coldly at us. I thought he was going to cause trouble again, defending me like he was defending his possessions. But he didn't. Instead, he casually strolled up to me. Every day. It's something new with you. Still out there browsing. Huh? I glanced away, not wanting to engage with him. But then, I heard his pleading voice. Victoria, could you maybe browse me again? No, I can't. Chapter 19. I was about to leave with Eric. We were going to see the Milky Way, right? Well, I didn't want to see anything that made me feel sick. But Alex blocked my way. Victoria, I know you're just jealous of Luna. But I don't agree. You're totally misunderstanding me. I have no romantic feelings for Luna. His figure cast a shadow, blocking out the light in front of me, and my heart grew heavier with every word. Alex, enough. Every time you say that, it just strengthens my resolve to divorce you. After all, even if he didn't have romantic feelings for Luna, his heart was always so heavily tilted toward her. I felt like a joke. I know you haven't crossed the line with Luna, but does that mean I have to tolerate everything? Think about it. How many important moments have you missed because of Luna? Our wedding, Sophia's birth. Every time I needed you the most, you were never there. I noticed a flicker of shock on Eric's face. Does he think I'm pitiful? But I don't want to be seen as pitiful. I looked steadily at Alex, feeling an intense sense of calm. Let's divorce. Let's set each other free. I pleaded with Alex, but he pleaded with me too. Victoria, I can change. Please don't stop loving me. Alex was begging me to this extent. Why? He clearly doesn't love me. If he loved me, he wouldn't have left me behind time and time again. Maybe he just needed me in his life. Without me, he couldn't get his coffee the way he liked it. Luna could only rely on him. But in some ways, he relied on me. I should have woken up long ago, but I kept holding on to hope. Alex, I don't want to say this for the last time. We're getting a divorce. I turned away, not looking back at him. I'll print a new set of divorce papers for you. But Alex wouldn't let go. His grip on my wrist hurt. You're hurting her. I heard Eric's calm reminder. Alex didn't even acknowledge him. Get lost. If I get lost, who's going to educate you on the law? You should know that if either spouse wants a divorce, they can dissolve the marriage. Compared to Alex's barely contained fury, Eric remained calm and composed, neither arrogant nor submissive. But the calmer he was, the more it seemed to test Alex's limits. Alex released my hand, his eyes lingering on the red marks on my wrist. He tried to reach out, but I pulled away. Is he your new boyfriend? Utter nonsense. Alex flexed his wrist, and I knew what he was about to do. Eric was just trying to help me, and I didn't want him to get dragged into this mess. So I stepped in front of Eric. Bang! A passerby suddenly bumped into me. The impact was strong, and I couldn't keep my balance. Careful! Eric quickly reached out, catching me around the waist. We were standing very close. As I turned my head, the corner of my mouth brushed against his lips. A strange sensation, warm, soft. Oh, clap, clap, clap. From the street, the sound of foreigners cheering and clapping filled the air. I couldn't tell if they were praising Eric for his quick reflexes, heroically saving me, or if they just enjoyed watching people kiss. Chapter 20. Eric and I were surrounded by more and more people, and Alex was pushed further away. I could only see him trembling with rage in the distance. In the end, I grabbed Eric's hand, and we dashed out of the crowd. We went to see the Milky Way. I'm sorry about earlier. It was an accident. I sincerely apologized, but Eric wasn't upset that I had stolen his first kiss. It's just something on the outside. Nothing worth mentioning. I couldn't help but laugh again. At the Starry Sky exhibition, Eric proudly introduced me to his work. When I was a kid, my grandma used to tell me the story of the cowherd and the weaver girl, the stars Altair, Vega, the Milky Way, and the Magpie Bridge. Chinese mythology is so beautiful and romantic. He spoke with admiration in his eyes. But I'm sorry. Right now, I'm allergic to anything romantic. Have you heard the full story? The cowherd stole the weaver girl's clothes, taking away her freedom to fly whenever she wanted. She had no choice but to stay on Earth. No one knows if she was truly willing. Everyone just focuses on the romance and ignores what happened to the weaver girl. Oh, I hadn't thought of it that way. He was caught off guard, and his face turned red again. All right. It's just a myth. Everyone has different interpretations, and that's totally normal. I thought Eric was too easy to tease, and I didn't want to bully him, but he took it seriously. No, I was wrong. It's not that serious. Now that I think about it, being a fairy is probably easier than being a wife. He pondered seriously, then looked at me apologetically. If you hadn't mentioned it, from a man's perspective, I probably never would have thought about that. I shook my head. There was nothing to apologize for. After leaving the exhibition, I had to go pick up Sophia. Eric suddenly called out to me, "Miss Victoria, I wish you the freedom of the weaver girl, and in advance, I wish you a happy divorce." I froze. Many people have shown me pity or concern over my divorce, but Eric was the only one to wish me a happy divorce. Chapter 21. I thought Eric and I wouldn't cross paths again. Then the TV station announced another celebrity interview. This time, we were inviting top figures from various industries. The task was handed to me, so I made countless calls. But since I had only recently arrived in Los Angeles, I didn't have many connections. In the end, I shamelessly asked Eric for help. He's handsome, professional, and polite, the kind of guy all the girls liked. Luckily, he agreed. I told my boss, who was surprised. Isn't he insanely busy these days? Me, huh? But he agreed so easily. Oh no, what if he was too polite to say no? I thought to myself, after the recording, I must thank him properly. So, when my boss suggested I find a backup plan, I refused. It wouldn't be respectful to Eric. But then, on the day of the recording, he didn't show up on time. With only 15 minutes left, I couldn't reach him on the phone. My boss exploded. "You didn't even get a backup. You think you're so confident. Huh? And for what? Eric's busy designing landmark buildings. You think just because you're a small TV station employee, he'll drop everything and show up?" I felt embarrassed and frustrated, but I wasn't too disappointed. It wasn't the first time I'd been stood up. Alex had stood me up for 5 years. Eric wasn't anyone special to me. He didn't owe me anything. He was busy, and maybe he had forgotten. Just as I was thinking that, a colleague suddenly informed me, "Eric is here, right on time," but he arrived on crutches. Apparently, he was hit by a bus while riding his bike and fractured his leg. "Why didn't you drive?" "I had a car accident 3 years ago. It left me a little shaken." Eric smiled, cheerful as always. "It's fine, I'll be sitting for the interview anyway. It doesn't affect anything." I felt even worse. Honestly, in this kind of situation, you could have just called. We would have understood. But I didn't want to stand you up. "You're giving me the opportunity to be on TV. How could I not show respect?" Eric's face turned red again. "You're lying. You overheard my argument with my ex-husband, and you know he always stood me up. So you wanted to make up for my disappointment, right?" He tensed up. "How did you know what I was thinking?" "Because you're an angel." Chapter 22. I started becoming more interested in this angel. Silently, I followed his social media account. His posts were as healing as his personality. He liked to share about nature, clouds, birds, pugs and stray cats. I even searched his name online, and aside from his many achievements, I found an adorable news story. On a rainy day some time ago, he was squatting by the roadside, holding an umbrella for a stubborn cat that refused to move. A journalist snapped the scene, and it warmed the hearts of many on the internet. Maybe he really is an angel. For a moment, I got lost in thought. Thud. My phone slipped from my hand and fell to the ground. Just as I reached down to pick it up, a large hand swept past my vision. I looked up, and Alex already had my phone in his hand. He glanced at me, putting on a fake gentle smile. What are you looking at? Smiling so happily. Is it a picture of us? Me? I don't have any pictures with him. The only wedding photo we had was lost because of Luna's carelessness with the negatives and originals. I didn't bother responding. Give me back my phone. Before I could finish, Alex's expression completely changed. You're looking at him? Chapter 23. I snatched the phone. What does it have to do with you? Eric's personal account had already been logged out. On the screen, sure enough, I saw the photo Alex posted. Our wedding photo from 5 years ago. I didn't open it. I just deleted it immediately. Pathetic. Alex went crazy and grabbed my arms, locking me in place. What's pathetic? Is he not pathetic? Victoria, tell me, you're only with him to make me angry. I broke free from him. No, I might actually have a normal relationship this time. Even if it's not Eric, it will be someone else. In any case, I won't let Alex influence me for the rest of my life. Is that so? But we still have a daughter, Victoria. You can marry someone else. But Sophia's custody must belong to me. My heart sank as I glared into Alex's determined eyes. No, Sophia will choose me. What if I fight for her? Your business has moved overseas, but your raw materials still need to be supplied from here. You don't want your family's company to collapse, do you? Chapter 24. Alex thought he had me cornered, but he forgot. He has a weakness too. I contacted Luna and told her everything about how Alex was pressuring me. To me, it was just a headache. But to Luna, it was a nightmare. Impossible. Uncle would never care about you that much. You're lying. Cut the nonsense. Can you get him back to the country or not? As long as Alex returned to the country, both Luna and I would be at peace. And so, that night, I heard Luna had attempted suicide. I heard she ended up in the ICU. I bet Alex would definitely return to the country. After all, it's Luna. Compared to Luna, Sophia and I were nothing. But, the next day, I picked up Sophia from school. Alex was standing at the entrance, chatting cheerfully with Sophia's teacher. Surprised to see me? Disgusted. I said it plainly. The smile on his face instantly faded. Since Sophia was there, I didn't start a fight with him. I'm taking Sophia home. Back home? Home is in the country. That's where Sophia belongs. Alex's soft voice carried a warning. Then, he picked up Sophia. Sweetheart, don't you want to come home with Daddy? Daddy has so many toys waiting for you. And when your vacation starts, we'll go see the desert together. Don't you want to see camels? Daddy promises. From now on, I'll spend a lot of time with you both. He glanced at me meaningfully. I remained indifferent. As for Sophia, I figured Alex wouldn't stand a chance with her. I reached out, intending to take Sophia back, but Sophia squirmed in his arms, wanting to be put down. Dad, I don't want to see camels anymore. Wherever Mommy is, that's where home is for Sophia. What about Daddy? We have lots of rooms at home. You can stay with us, but only if Mommy says it's okay. For the first time, Alex was at a loss for words. He let Sophia slip from his arms and watched as she returned to me. It felt like I had won a battle. See, Alex? You can't force this. His eyes darkened. Chapter 25. We returned home. Mommy, there's a man at the door. Is he your friend? I looked up, and to my surprise, it was Eric. Is he your boyfriend? Sophia asked, excitement in her voice. Me? I told her not to be nosy and sent her inside. So, I didn't have a chance to invite Eric in for tea. Sorry. My child can be noisy. No, she's adorable. She looks just like you. Eric's voice was soft, but there was an awkwardness between us. The tension lingered until I broke the silence. Is there something you wanted to talk about? No. I just wanted to say that I'm going on a business trip to Europe tomorrow, and I'll be gone for a month. A month. That's a long time. Why are you telling me this? I pressed my lips together, feeling my heart beat a little faster. So, what now? He hesitated for a moment, then finally spoke. When I get back, can I confess something to you? What? The truth is, I have a secret. That day at your TV station, I fell in love at first sight with a girl named Victoria. Chapter 26. I agreed to Eric. I never saw Alex again. A month felt a little long. Eric and I stayed in touch every day. My heart raced constantly. It felt like I was experiencing my first love. First love. I never had a real first love. I thought I did in high school. There was a fire at the school, and I twisted my ankle. I almost didn't make it out alive. It was Alex who carried me out of the flames. Back then, I clung to Alex's back, filled with deep attachment to him. But time flies. That boy who saved me from the fire, I can no longer find any trace of him in Alex. All these years, Alex tried every way possible to stop me from wanting a divorce. He went to my brother, only to get beaten up again. He went to my parents, but they wouldn't even let him in the house. He even tried to create opportunities to interact with me through my work. I was curious why he was so persistent. Even with everything going on with Luna, he refused to return to the country. His answer was ridiculous. I know that if I go back, I'll never be able to win you back. He finally understood. I am no longer the wife waiting for him to come home. But if you stay in Los Angeles for the rest of your life, I still won't care. Are you sure? You used to love me so much. That was in the past. In the cafe, I remained calm. Alex, what kind of person do you think I am? Calm, gentle, and sensible. Alex was quick to respond, but sadly, he was wrong. I've changed a long time ago. Do you believe it? 5 years ago, the first moment I saw Luna, I wanted to pull her hair and slap her because I thought she had stolen my husband. Back then, I was a woman scorned, a shrew whose husband had been taken away. I lifted my gaze, and Alex's eyes were like a descent into the abyss. I smiled. Do you also think I'm pathetic? So, just let me go. I don't want to love you anymore. I just want to love myself. Chapter 27. Alex never came to find me again, but I also never received the divorce papers, so we were stuck in the stalemate. I took Sophia to the amusement park, and he stood far off to the side. When Sophia and I went for a walk, he followed behind. Just last night, he called me to explain the situation with Luna, though it wasn't really an explanation. Before I turned 10, I grew up in an orphanage. My biological father was an irresponsible drifter. He broke my mom's heart. If she had other children, she never would have raised me. The first time I met Luna, she called me dad. It was ridiculous. I was only 20 years old. How could I possibly be her father? But when she called me that, I thought of my own father. I decided to raise Luna, to take full responsibility for her, to show my parents. Alex adopted Luna with a vengeful heart. But who exactly did he seek revenge on? I remained unmoved. Alex, the pain from your upbringing is not an excuse to hurt others. Your parents wronged you, but Sophia and I didn't. I hung up the phone. From that moment on, Alex didn't reach out to me again. He followed Sophia and me around, behaving like a wanderer. Mom, look, there's a rabbit. Sophia suddenly pulled away from my hand in excitement. I didn't have time to catch her. Honk honk. A car was speeding toward us. Sophia! I ran over as fast as I could, but a dark figure rushed ahead of me. Alex embraced Sophia, taking the full impact. He fell unconscious. Chapter 28. Alex's mother rushed to Los Angeles. She looked at her son, eyes closed, showing no expression on her face. But she made one demand. Take the child and accompany Alex back to our country. If I refused, she would cut off the supply of raw materials of my family's company. I smiled. This mother and son were truly alike. I wasn't grateful to Alex. Sophia was his daughter. He should have saved her. Besides, if he hadn't, I would have. But I didn't want to burden my family. All right, I agree. I nodded. My mother-in-law shook her head and sneered. That useless boy. If he had done this from the start, you wouldn't have gotten 3 years of supply. Hearing this, my heart sank. Alex, what were you really thinking? Chapter 29. I didn't tell my family about my ex-mother-in-law's threats. I insisted on returning to our home country. But my parents must have guessed something. They and my brother didn't agree with my decision. Even without their supply chain, we won't go bankrupt. But I insisted. Even though we wouldn't go bankrupt, it would certainly deal a heavy blow. I had always pursued only what I liked, never contributing anything to the family. This time, let me make some sacrifices. In the end, I reached an agreement with the family of Alex. I would accompany Alex back home with our daughter. For 1 year. After 1 year, Alex must sign the divorce papers and agree to grant me full custody of our daughter. But when I got to the airport, I felt reluctant. Eric was returning to Los Angeles tomorrow. Would he be upset when he came back and couldn't find me? I wanted to leave something for him. Forget it. We were never meant to be. Why delay his future? Chapter 30. In the 3rd month after returning to the country, Alex woke up, but he had lost his memory. He didn't remember anyone, except for calling me Victoria. Call me Victoria. No way. You're my wife. Who calls their wife by her full name? After his recovery, he seemed like a completely different person. Wherever I was, he would be there too, caring for me with meticulous attention. Unbelievable. Alex didn't change wives, but instead became the epitome of a wife-doting husband. Luna tried to see him several times, but was turned away, because Alex didn't remember her. She didn't believe it. She thought Alex was pretending to test him. In a fit of anger, she married one of Alex's rowdy friends. She became the wife of a notorious playboy. But still, Alex remained indifferent and even sent her a grand gift. I began to feel more and more that Alex's heart was cold. Chapter 31. He's definitely pretending. How could Alex lose his memory? And if he did, how could he only remember me and Sophia? He couldn't even remember Sophia's birthday. I watched him coldly, as he played the role of a good father, a good husband. Every night, after he coaxed Sophia to sleep, he would come to my room, and I would go to study. We kept our distance. But tonight, he blocked my way. Victoria, can I stay with you? I'm not feeling well. You still haven't forgiven me? Ha, Alex. Can't keep pretending anymore? But then, in the next second, he lifted me onto the bed, his body pressing down on mine. Alex! I panicked. Instinctively struggling, he remained unaffected, his deep voice close to my ear. Victoria, stop fighting with me. Let's be good, all right? Let me go first. I won't. Get off of me. We used to make up after a fight by just sleeping it off, didn't we? His fingers undid the hidden clasp on my clothes. Chapter 32. Before he could go any further, he stopped, because just as I was about to break down, I shouted someone's name. Eric. It was the first time since I returned from Los Angeles that I had thought of him. Alex propped himself up, looking at me expressionlessly. Still thinking about him? Seems like I haven't treated you well enough. He said this softly and didn't force me any further. After that, he treated me even better. He wanted me to smile at him, but aside from Sophia, I couldn't smile anymore. Later, I heard by chance, Luna, who I once despised, was living a miserable life. Her husband had a harem of women, and her mother-in-law looked down on her. She wanted Alex to support her, but she couldn't even get through the door. Eventually, she was thrown out of her in-laws' home for flirting with a younger man at a bar. Alex didn't intervene. He only said one thing: she has hands and feet. She can fend for herself. Oh, so, Alex always knew she had hands and feet. That made me even unhappier. Luna had her freedom, but I didn't. A year passed quickly, but Alex and the family seemed to forget our agreement. They refused to let me and Sophia leave. That day, I was deep in thought, peeling fruit. When Alex came home, the first thing he saw was my hands covered in blood. He looked terrified. Victoria, who allowed you to hurt yourself? Chapter 33. I cut my wrist, but it wasn't real. Many times, to get what you want, you have to pay a price. So, I got the divorce papers. Victoria, I'm letting you go. Leave. Take Sophia with you. Alex had his back to me, his voice hoarse. It sounded like he was crying. Who cares? I was happy. I was finally free. Victoria, congratulations on your divorce. Epilogue. Chapter 1. Alex stood by the window, watching Victoria and their daughter leave. The mother and daughter. Even their joyful silhouettes looked so similar. Were they really this happy without him? Yes. He had been a bastard before, but he thought he had changed. His Victoria was the girl he had carried out of the flames. The girl who once had eyes full of love for him. As she grew up, she became gentle and sweet. She understood life and knew how to live. Everything in the house had been arranged by her. There was even the faint scent of aromatherapy she had personally prepared. This was Alex's one and only home. He had grown up in an orphanage, and when he returned to his parents, he realized they were worthless. The only person who gave him a home was Victoria, but she left, and she was never coming back. Thinking of this, Alex felt a rush of blood to his head and coughed up a mouthful of blood. Chapter 2. Victoria traveled to many countries with her daughter. Eventually, she returned to Los Angeles. One evening, she was walking her dog and, without realizing it, wandered into a university campus. Actually, it wasn't unintentional. She had been sneaking around this university every day, wearing a hat and mask, looking suspicious. She wanted to see someone, but was also afraid to see him. Today, she finally ran into him. In front of the library, the man was holding a book, standing gracefully by the door like a figure from an ancient painting. A red-haired student was nervously scratching his head as he asked for a leave of absence. "Professor, my friend just went through a breakup, and he needs my support, so I can't attend today's class." "Breakup?" The young professor's eyes dimmed the moment he heard the word breakup. How did he break up? Is it because the girl he likes went back to her ex? "Eric, you always make me want to laugh and cry." My heart tightened painfully. No more hesitation. I walked up and patted his shoulder. "Hi. Let's get to know each other again. I'm now a free weaver." The moment he turned around, I saw a galaxy in his eyes, shining bright. "Eric, this time, it's my turn to chase you."